I'm Andrew Rhodes, and today we will be speaking with Ms. Melinda Parker Brown. And Ms. Brown is, and remember this, because you know when Ms. Brown speaks, people need to listen. She's part of the Louisiana United International Incorporated, and it's a force for justice. So we're gonna turn it over to Ms. Brown, and you know she'll let us know what's going on.
Absolutely. Thank you so much, Andrew. You know, this is a reality talk. You know, this is a hard talk. This is information that the whole world needs to know about what's happening here in the state of Louisiana. You know, and, you know, thank you so much for inviting me to the show today because, you know, this is a critical time for us. And we are in national news, CNN, MSNBC, CBS, you know, all over, the whole world is watching the state of Louisiana in regards to what just happened here. Actually, it happened over 2 years ago. The Ronald Green's murder by the police on video is what I'm talking about, people. You know, the cover up and the lies of the Ronald Green murder, you know, by the police, is critical to the people here in the state of Louisiana. And we cannot stand silently by and let this continue with our elected officials that we have put in office to serve us. They have sworn to the oath to serve us, the people here, to protect and serve us.
You know, in the state that we're in, when we have the politicians that we elected to office, and you know they're actually voting to slow down the voter registration and all those things, I'm going to say I'm not surprised.
Absolutely. You know, it is just a blatant betrayal of public trust that's happening right now, and that what the whole world needs to know, Mr. Andrew, is that the Louisiana State Police Commission is a fraud.
So you're saying,
you know,
folks are getting paid for doing nothing, basically.
Absolutely. And six of the, you know, I want to say at least, you know, the majority of them have been appointed by the governor. And here we have the death of Ronald Green that was murdered. You know, anybody that would see that video where they talked about how they beat the F and you know what out of this man and bragged about it on camera. Anyone that would see that video would know that it was a murder. You know, as taxpayers, this is not what we want to happen in our communities, in our, you know, amongst our residents in this state. We will not tolerate this type of treatment. It is wrong.
I've seen a video once, and it's like, why is it taking 2 years? Why somebody's name? Why aren't these folks actually, and this is what I was kind of puzzled about, because I don't see it on the news anymore. I don't see any actions, like you said, they may be adding commissions and all of that, but what are they going to actually do about sending these folks to jail who blatantly, and you say, now, you know, I blatantly bragged about killing this man. Somebody need to go to jail for that.
On camera, and that's why we're here today with the reality talk, because the real fact of the matter is that we want something done. As a people here in the state of Louisiana, this is critical that we stand up and let our voices be heard. We want something done. We want these people arrested. We want the people that had any involvement with concealing and covering up that video for over 2 years to be indicted from the governor's office on down. And we're serious about this. You know, we will not allow the Louisiana State Police Commission to silence us. We will, and right now, let me tell you what just happened. You know, we put out an alert that we were coming to the meeting. They have meetings every second Thursday of the month. And we put out an alert for us to have a caravan, for people to rally and come to this state, to the Louisiana State Police Commission on this Thursday, which would happen tomorrow between 9 a.m. and 10 a.m. And they have 24 hours to put an agenda on their website. And just last night, they canceled the meeting.
Without consequences.
Why did they cancel the meeting? It's another cover-up.
Right.
A cover-up. Over 2 years, they concealed the video of a murder that was taking place.
And folks are still getting paid.
And folks are still getting paid. They have these officers, and I can call their name. We got Dakota DeMoss. We got Corey York. We got Chris Hollinger that he died, supposedly, ran into a tree. Once he found out that he was going to be fired for this incident, this murder of Ronald Green. Okay, we also have lieutenants. We got high-ranking captains, lieutenants, sergeants, high-ranking people that were there on the scene that helped cover this up for over 2 years, concealed the video.
I wanna ask a
still
question.
working.
So these are the people who are involved in the incident. You're not telling me that that's the people on the commission.
These are the people that's involved in the incident. And I do have the names of all the people on the commission. And what I really want people to do is be able to go and see. Go to the website. Go to the Louisiana State Police Commission website. You can Google it. And look at all the names of the people that are sitting there on this commission. And look at the ones that have been appointed by the governor. And that have concealed this murder of Ronald Green on video. And they never intended for this video. Do you realize, Mr. Andrew, that we have, I don't know if you remember 7 years ago, we had a murder of a young man, Troy Robinson. We're still waiting on the information to come out about that case. We got, the incident with Mr. Sterling in Baton Rouge. We're still waiting on, we're waiting. We don't want to be like the people in Tulsa waiting 100 years before they even decide to dig up bodies and find out what really happened to these people. Why would the governor, and from the governor's office on down, cover up a video of a murder for over 2 years? And then they lie and say that they didn't have the adequate, investigation or, what was that about?
Well, I heard that. And I'm like, what do you need? You got it on tape. What else do you need?
What else do you need? What else do you need? And we don't have much time because, but I want the people to know if it's ever been a time for us to stand with each other, stand together and make this, we together, people. We together, we cannot live in this type of fear and this type of torment, knowing that we got law enforcement that can that can have high-ranking officials at the scene of a murder and cover it up.
Oh, but we also need to call it what it is. It's racism.
Absolutely, and that's the reason why we're saying we're not going to tolerate it. Yeah. And we can't keep on asking for help from these politicians, politicking, and using our, like you say, our minds and our votes to get what it is that they want to cover up for what, crimes, to cover up crimes, so that they can get away with it. So it's just time for us to make a demand, people. We can no longer ask. We have to demand that we will not tolerate this type of corruption, and no matter who it's coming from. I voted for the governor the first time around, not the second time around, because once he got in office, he all of a sudden he neglect to even take a phone call from me, okay, about how bad people were being treated inside of these godforsaken hellhole prisons and jails across this state. So now that we find out that his long history of law enforcement, his grandpa, his daddy, all of them in law enforcement, all of his relatives, now he gets a video where the police is murdering somebody. You take one look at that video, you know it was a murder, then they turn around and bragged about how they beat the F and you know what out of the man. It's a cover-up.
I want to say something right fast, and I might be wrong, but wasn't the official thing on this guy that he was in an accident? And this might be another story.
The lies, no, you are absolutely right, Andrew. They lied and said that he hit a tree
right,
and killed himself, but it didn't add up from what the coroner's report and the doctor's report on how that man died. They beat him to death, and the ambulance came, and the high-ranking officials came, and all of them saw. They took them 6 minutes to get cuffs on a dead man that say that he died at the hospital when he was dead on arrival.
Right. And I wanted to make sure, because, my thing is, why aren't the FBI and some other folks involved, high-ranking, because when things happen to the police, you can't have the chicken watching the hen house.
Absolutely.
I mean, the fox.
No,
you can't have the fox watching the hen house.
And that's exactly
what seems like what's happening. You having the police investigate the police. Mm-hmm. So there need to, this independent or whoever these state troopers are, they're just the foxes.
Right.
They're the foxes watching the hen house.
Absolutely.
So this needs to be done by some other agency, some kind of federal agency like the FBI, somebody who ain't got no ties with nobody in this area. And folks lie.
Right.
If they lie on tape, then why is there such a big problem for getting a grand jury on these folks?
Right. And what happens when the police lie and get away with it? Why do we have to put up with that type of foolishness? And this is what I want the world to know. The governor, John Bell Edwards, appointed the corrupt Louisiana State Police Commission that is a waste of the taxpayers' money. The governor has tricked us. I'm telling you, people, we are being done wrong. It is a betrayal of the public's trust. It is a total violation of the oath of office, and nothing but cover up. It's cover up, cover up, cover up. And we're demanding that the police stop beating people to death here in the state of Louisiana. We also demanded that stop shooting unarmed people on traffic violations. Okay? And this is what you just said, Andrew. The police can turn around and manufacture a crime against you. Right. And then turn around and investigate themselves. That's a disgrace.
And I want to add a little more to what you're saying, because I've been to court a couple of times, and it's for some simple things like speeding tickets and stuff. I go in there and I talk with the ACLU, and I've asked them, why are we 95% of the people in court? 95. If they got 500 people in court, I guarantee you 497 of them are black.
Absolutely.
And this is what the traffic stops lead to. Mm-hmm. They lead to, somebody, didn't pay the insurance, your sticker ain't right. I guess I'm gonna judge him right here. You ain't got no sticker, I'm gonna just shoot you.
Absolutely.
You can't be the judge, the jury,
and the executioner all at the same time, and that's what we got here.
Right. There's no job that gives you the right to kill anybody. There's no job. No job. There's nothing you put on your resume. Well, I've killed about 8, 9 black folks, so I should actually get hired in this. But it appears that that's what it is now. And we have to, and I so much agree with what you're saying. I just wanted to make sure I had my facts right when we're talking about, you know. And
Absolutely.
and they go from jurisdiction to jurisdiction. If they get fired in West Point, you know, evidently they sent their resume in, and the only reason if they don't happen is because they ain't met their mandate of killing black folks.
Right, absolutely, and we call that the gypsy cops and passing the trash, and that's what's been happening here in the state of Louisiana. You know, the cover up has to stop, and we're demanding that the cover up of these officers, and they're still working in our law enforcement right now. We want them indicted, arrested, and put in jail, and every single person that had anything to do with concealing and covering up this video for over 2 years. Thank you, Mr.
We got that distance, baby. Well, it was